I just want to say to everybody that's here, Yahweh Hashem, Mashiach Yahweh, welcome to everybody coming to the 11th Hebrew Summit. All right, Khan. Thank you, Most High, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh. All right, so what we're going to do is now get ready for the Shabbat service. Yes, we were supposed to start at 12 o'clock. Okay? We were supposed to start at 12, and it didn't happen. So we're starting now about, what, 1 something? About 1 o'clock? Okay, so everybody get their Bibles out. All right, get your Bibles out, get a pen and paper out. And we're going to go over the Shabbat service. All right, there's going to be a lot of scriptures being brought out. Okay? Because we got to sort. We're going now with a balanced Shabbat service. We're going to be going through the Torah. We're going to be going to Psalms. We're going to be going to Old Testament, New Testament, Revelation. So get your Bibles out, and we're going to start the Most High Shabbat service. Come? Come? Okay. All right. Chauffeur, stand up. All right. This is Chauffeur, the leader of the S.W.O.R.D.S of ZIOM camp here in Detroit. Okay, Khan, he's the one that's hosting this summit. All right, so let's give Chauffeur.
Somebody could turn the volume down a little bit. He shouldn't.
The Spirit of Most High. And Chauffeur is going to be the first one in the Shabbat service. And Chauffeur, you're going to be dealing with Deuteronomy 11th chapter, 26th verse. You're going to start from there. Okay. So Deuteronomy 11th chapter, 26th verse. That's where we're going to start. Okay.
One, two, 1, 2. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. All praise to Yahweh. All praise to Yahweh. Bahashem. Hamashiach. Yahweh Shai. All praise. So we're going to go through the Z-O.R.D.S portion today, starting in the Deuteronomy chapter 11. And we're going to pick it up at verse 26. Everybody open up them swords. We all Z-O.R.D keepers in here, right? We keep that law up in here, right? All praise. Let's get it started, right? The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, and verse 26.
Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse.
A what?
A blessing and a curse.
So we understand as a people that the Most High in ancient times set before us a blessing and a curse. That was a part of the original contract and covenant that the Most High made with our people, right? But what did we do? What did we do as a people? We violated that, right? So now we are suffering under the curses, as you can see when you come through the gates of Detroit, right? It's darn near looking like a third world country, right? But that's what we deserve. That's exactly what the Most High brought upon us because of our ancient forefathers and the things that we are continuing to do today. So as we go through this Z-O.R.D, we want you to let these words sink into your spirit and get into your very soul, because the law, statutes, and commandments and the testimony of Mashiach Yahweh is the only thing that is going to redeem us from this curse. So understand that. All right, this is not a show. This is not no, we know that this is not no set up religion. This is the way, the truth, and the life. So remember that. All right, we're in that final hour. So remember that blessing curse is before you. All right, read on.
A blessing, if ye obey.
If you do what?
If ye obey the commandments of Yahweh, your power, which I command you this day.
You see that? We had a blessing if we would have obeyed, but we know that we didn't do that. But right now, you can receive that blessing of the extended kingdom that's being extended to you if you turn back and keep these commandments. All right? We can't just do what we did when we was in the church or when we was in the mosque. We have to actually keep these laws and commandments, right? Come. Read on.
And a curse, if you will not obey the commandments of Yahweh your power, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known.
You see that? And that's exactly what we're suffering as a people today. But this is why we must make sure that we turn it back to our power. Who's our power? Who's our power? Right? So that's exactly what we must follow so we can get out of this cursed situation. All right? We're dealing with a lot of things within our nation, and especially those of us that are awake. Shaitan is fighting against us big time. And in order for us to battle this thing, we must turn to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We must take on the testimony of Hamashiach Yahushua and not just claim it. All right, a lot of brothers and sisters believe just because we Yasha'Allah and we got a one-way ticket in. And guess what? It's not the case. You're going to be the first to be cut off if you violate these laws, statutes, and commandments. Understand that. Where does judgment begin at?
The house of the Lord.
The house of Yahweh. All right, it ain't coming to Edom first. It ain't coming to Moab first. It ain't coming to none of these other nations. It's coming to you first and foremost. So it's for us to turn back and keep these commandments. Read on.
And it shall come to pass, when Yahweh thy power hath brought thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, that thou shalt put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim and the curse upon Mount Ebal.
You see that? So these two mountains was to be a representation in ancient times that we were to look to at for the blessing and the curse. All right, but we know what we chose. What did we choose, brother?
Curse.
We chose the curse, which is unfortunate, right? But it's all good. We got a promise to get up out of here if we can do what we're supposed to do. Read on.
Are they not on the other side of Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down, in the land of the Canaanites, which dwelleth in the champaign over against Gilgal, beside the plains of Moreh?
God, read.
For ye shall pass over Jordan to go in to possess the land which Yahweh your power giveth you, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein.
All right, so are we possessing and dwelling in our land today? Where we at? In the hills of America, right? AKA Babylon, right? Far away from our land. So guess what? When you really think about this thing, you can see that we 9 times out of 10, our forefathers was the one directly putting Yahushua HaMashiach to death and giving them over to the Romans, because he removed us far from our border, right? So we don't enjoy the fruits of our land, and now we're watching our enemies rule this thing, right? How does that make y'all feel when you see our enemies over there claiming to be you at the Wailing Wall, in the gates of Oak Park, running around here as they're the chosen people? How does that make you feel? It should piss you off. But in order for you to get back, you got to get back to these commandments, right? Read on.
And ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day.
You see that? We must observe the statutes and the judgments. We have to walk in righteous judgment according to this law, the law of the Most High Yahweh. And unfortunately, that's something we have to work on as a nation, because we're not dealing with righteous judgment as we're supposed to, right? Read on. We're going to chapter 12 and the first verse.
These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land which Yahweh, power of thy fathers, giveth thee to possess it, all the days that ye live upon the earth.
Did that say some of the days?
All the days that ye live upon the earth.
You see that? All the days that we live upon this earth, we are commanded. It's not a suggestion. We are commanded to keep these commandments. This is your very life. As it reads in the Apocrypha, this is the doctrine of life, keeping these commandments. We want everlasting life, Is that not everybody's goal in here? That it should be, to make that eternal kingdom, right? Read on.
You shall utterly destroy all the places.
You should do what?
Utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree.
See, that's when we was going into our homeland, we was told to destroy everything that those Canaanites had set up, because it was all dedicated to pagan idolatrous gods, which is nothing more but the worship of Ha-Shaitan. All right, so now in the spirit, we must destroy all the works of false religion that this setup has given us, because it's nothing more but a recycled version of these ancient pagan gods. Read on.
And ye shall overthrow their altars, and break down their pillars, and burn their groves with fire.
You see that? Read.
And ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and destroy the name of them out of that place.
See that? We have to hew down those graven images and destroy the names of these gods. And that's what these names are. They have a strong attachment to that. And everybody in here probably has witnessed that. When you go and you let our people know that the Mashiach Yahushua's name isn't Jesus, what do you get? Kickback, right? They look at you as if you're crazy. Right? Go ahead. What you say? Read on.
Ye shall not do so unto the You shall not do so unto Yahweh your power.
Read.
But unto the place which Yahweh your power shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there, even unto his habitation shall ye seek, and thither shalt thou come.
You see that? So let me ask the crowd, where is the place that the Most High Yahweh chose to place his name at? Zion, right? Jerusalem, right? As we said in the English tongue. That's the place that the Most High has chosen for his Kadash, or set apart holy name. So for you brothers and for you sisters that can make it over there to Zion during the commanded feast, get over there and pray. Seek the Most High's face on Zion. But the Most High has been revealing to us that, the bastards over there in our land, they're not even possessing the true city of David. But the Most High is bringing that place back to life again. Because he's getting it ready for us to come home. Read on.
And thither ye shall bring your burnt offerings, and your sacrifices, and your tithes.
And your what?
And your tithes.
But I thought our pastors told us to bring it to the church house. That's what our pastors told us back in the day when we was in the church, right? Bring it to the church. But you're supposed to bring your tithes to the place where the Most High Yahweh has chosen, which is Jerusalem. And it's been given to the Levites, These brothers don't claim to be Levi. It'll show you the situation that we're dealing with. Read on.
And heave offerings of your hand, and your vows, and your free will offerings, and the firstlings of your herds and of your flocks.
Read.
And there ye shall eat before Yahweh your power.
You see that? So we will rejoice when we get to our homeland. This is something you got to look forward to. We're doing too much rejoicing in the land of Babylon. We have too much ease here. We should be seeking to get back home so we can have some true joy. Read on.
And ye shall rejoice in all that ye put your hand unto, ye and your household.
You and your what?
Your household.
You see that? So for us brothers, we got to pay special attention to this, because our households have to get put into proper order. We're dealing with a lot of disorder when it comes to our households. All right? Read on.
Wherein Yahweh thy power hath blessed thee. Ye shall not do after all the things that we do here this day. Every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. For ye are not as yet come to the rest and to the inheritance which Yahweh your power giveth you.
You see that? So when Mashal was bringing out our forefathers and getting ready to set this thing up, it wasn't in full construction yet. But when we got to Zion and set it up, this is where the order came into full play. And that's coming back. You rest assured that. We can see right now again, Israel is in massive disorder. When the Most High brings us out of this place and into the wilderness and begin to purge the rebels, we're going to get that order back. But this is what we need. Without order, you're going to perish. Right? Read on.
But when ye go over Jordan and dwell in the land which Yahweh your power giveth you to inherit, and when he giveth you rest from all your enemies round about.
When he does what?
When he give you rest from all your enemies round about. So that ye dwell in safety.
Now, do we have any rest from our enemies right now? Not at all. We have no rest. So we should be seeking this. We need that rest from all our enemies round about us. Every last one of these nations represent your enemies. All right? And they do not have your best interests at heart. Again, for all your brothers and sisters that ain't paying attention to the purge, you better go take a look at that movie. All right? Because they were showing you what your enemies is planning on doing. All right? So we need to be seeking, again, Yahweh by keeping these commandments so we can get away from our enemies and have that power back. Read on.
Then there shall be a place which Yahweh your power shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. I command you your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and your heave offerings of your hand, and all your choice vows which ye vow unto Yahweh.
Read.
And ye shall rejoice before Yahweh your power, ye and your son.
You and your what?
And your son. And your daughter.
Who else?
And your men servants.
Read.
And your maid servants.
And who else?
And the Levite that is within your gates. For as much as he hath no part, no inheritance with you.
You see that? So this is what we got to look forward to, get back to our land. So every one of our family members, down to the righteous Levites, can rejoice. Truly, that's what we should be seeking for, right? Read on.
Take heed to thyself, that thou offer not thy burnt offering in every place that thou seest.
So we command you, check this out. When it comes to your burnt offerings to be offered to Yahweh, it has to be in the land. All right, it has to be. He told us don't put your burnt offerings in any place besides where he places his name there. So keep that in mind. Read on.
But in the place which Yahweh shall choose in one of thy tribes, there thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, and there shalt thou do all that I command thee.
You see, read.
Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after.
You see that? So in your gates, that regular, your daily bread that you want to break down, and kill a calf or kill a goat, a lamb, so on and so forth, you can do that within your gates. But those things that are to be dedicated to Yahweh must be in Zion. God, read on.
According to the blessing of Yahweh thy power, which he hath given thee, the unclean and the clean may eat thereof, as the roebuck and as of the hart.
Read.
Only ye shall not eat the blood.
You shall what?
Ye shall not eat the blood.
Notice that. So we are not to partake in eating blood. I'm quite sure nobody in here is doing that. All right, but our enemies that round about us, they rejoice in that. So this is something that we are not to do. No eating of the blood, but you shall do what?
Ye shall pour it upon the earth as water.
So all that the Most High Yahweh has said, we will what?
Pour upon the earth as water.
Oh, sorry. That was for the crowd. So all that what the Most High Yahweh has said, we will what? We will do. Gun? All right, so that concludes my portion.
Start off in Deuteronomy 13th chapter, from the 1st verse to the 18th verse. Kwam Yashala? Kwam Yashala?
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or that wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for Yahweh your power proveth you to know whether ye love Yahweh your power with all your heart and with all your soul.
Read to the 6th verse.
Ye shall walk after the Lord Yahweh, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice. Ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he hath spoken to turn you away from Yahweh, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which Yahweh commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee.
Okay, we're stopping at the 5th verse. From the 1st verse to the 5th verse is dealing with dreams. The scriptures say, if there rise up a dreamer or a prophet as such, dream dreams, if it didn't come from the Most High, because some dreams come from the Most High. The dream that Joseph had in Genesis, write these scriptures down. In the book of Genesis, the 37th chapter, from the 5th to the 11th verse, and also the book of Numbers, 12th chapter, and the 6th verse. And some of the dreams that didn't come from the Most High, write this scripture down. Jeremiah, the 23rd chapter, from the 25th to the 26th verse. Now, dreams have to be confirmed from the Most High. You have to get that confirmation from the Most High. You know, for brothers, sisters, anybody come to you. I had this dream such and such. We had a lot of brothers and sisters that had a lot of dreams, and some of them dreamed themselves out this truth. Con? Okay, so it has to be confirmed from the Most High. Okay, if that dream is from him. Con? Okay, regardless of a spiritual leader, what the spiritual leader possess or teaches or what have you, or having dreams and so forth, you don't go by the spiritual leader, you don't go by his experiences. You go by the confirmation of the Most High. Is that right? Okay, now we're going from the 6th verse on down.
If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, Let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers.
Go ahead.
Namely of the gods of the people, which are round about you, nigh unto you, or far out from thee, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shalt thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt stone him with stones, that he die, because he hath sought to thrust thee away from Yahweh, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you.
See, Israel have to see a sign. They have to see things. See, the Most High have to show us that he means business. Now, the scriptures that the brother read from the 6th verse all the way down to the 11th is dealing with family members. It's dealing with your family members. It's talking about your family members. Even if they entice you and say, let's go worship other gods, the scriptures say, don't take heed to that. And because they come to you, your hand should be the first upon them to put them to death. You understand? And then the rest of the people in the city will follow behind them. You understand? So the Most High have deceivers amongst us to test us, to make sure that we love him, to make sure we're right in our minds and in our hearts with him. So he have these deceivers, he have these false prophets, he have these liars and these deceivers amongst us to test us and make sure we're strong for him and we love him. And we'll go all out for his truth for him. Con? Okay, the next verse. Read from the 12th verse on down.
If thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men of the children of Belial have gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of this city, saying, let us go and serve other gods which ye have not known.
Now, this is a city. This is certain men of the city. Now, these men are in leadership because they have the influence, right? So they're telling the people, let's go and worship idolatry. Let's worship other gods that our fathers have not known. They entice the people. Let's go worship these other gods. So the scripture's going to read on and say, you must examine that. You must diligently seek and check out the situation. You must examine it. Do a thorough examination of is this true? Because it may not be true. Con? And that means in every judgment that we make, it may be an adultery judgment against a brother, sister, thief, stealing. But if you hear something, you make sure that you diligently examine that case, because some people are going to be put to death at the end of that judgment. So you have to make sure that examination is right, or what you heard is right, because you want to give fair judgment at all times. Continue to read.
Then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask diligently.
See there? Then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask what? Diligently. You search this thing out. Don't just take a word, hey, I saw such and such and such and such did this. Don't get, oh yeah, and now you're making a judgment and you're dealing with the situation. No, you seek diligently. You search it, you examine it, you talk to people, you question, you investigate it, right? Go ahead.
Behold, if it be true, and the thing certain, and such abomination is wrought among you.
If it be true, because it may not be true, but if it is true, go ahead.
Thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof, with the edge of the sword.
If it's true, woe unto that city. The scriptures say you shall smite that city, the cattle, everything in that city. That means you don't take a Babylonian garment, you don't take nothing from that city. You destroy everything. if that situation of what you heard is true. Go ahead and read.
And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and thou shalt burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof every whit, for Yahweh thy power, and it shall be an heap forever. It shall not be built again.
It said, thou shalt gather all the spoil in that city, everything in it, you take nothing. And it said, you shall put it in the midst of the streets thereof, and shall burn it with fire, the city and the spoil. So this is like a sacred destruction to the Most High. This is a sacrifice to the Most High. This is called a sacred destruction. You don't take nothing. You leave that city as a ruin, a heap. If you see some of the ancient countries, you see a big mound there. That's a city that's been destroyed, and the Most High have left that forever as a witness. So the Most High is advising us, look, destroy this city, burn everything in it, don't take nothing. Like the brother in the book of, I believe, Judges, Achan took a Babylonian garment. When the prophecy was, don't take anything. Don't take nothing from them. Okay, read on.
And there shall cleave not of the cursed thing to thine hand, and Yahweh, your power, may turn from the fierceness of his anger and show thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee, as he hath sworn unto thy fathers. When thou shalt hearken to the voice of Yahweh, to keep all his commandments, which I command thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of Yahweh.
See, all the Most High wants us to do is get ourselves together and obey him. Follow his laws. Follow his commandment. Do what he say do. Not to follow the dreams. If it's not confirmed from the Most High, then it's false. 2 Thessalonians 2:9. It's a false dream. It's a false vision. Okay? If it's confirmed by the Most High, then okay. Okay, Khan? Kwam Yashala? Okay, we'll pass it on to the next brother.
Shabbat Shalom. Giving all praise to the God of Abraham and Jacob for his mercy, truth, and endure forever. I want to thank all those that are here. This is People Summit 11th. Those of you that are here for the first time, I want to welcome you. And thank the Most High for letting you reach here in peace and safety. So we're going to continue on with Deuteronomy 14th chapter and the first verse.
Ye are the children of Yahweh your power. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead.
Right, so who's our power? Yahweh's our power. And that word yor is a what? Is a possessive pronoun. Okay? The Most High God, he did indeed create all nations, but he is only the God of Israel, according to the scriptures. Read on.
For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh, and Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people.
The Most High said he chose us to be a peculiar people. We go out there in the highways and the byways, we instruct our people that the Most High said what? That our people are chosen. But the first question is, well, what about the white man? Okay? We're not even concerned about our nation as a people. We're concerned about the other nation. Read that again.
And Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth.
He said, above all nations. That's not talking about equality. Okay, initially Israel was created to be what? To be above all nations. But as we read earlier, what happened? Israel chose death over life. So we are faced with all the calamities, being in the ghettos and the slum. You hear in the D-town, you see the condition, all the abandoned buildings. Okay, our people's in the ghettos and the slums. So these are parts of the curses that we are faced as a nation. Come on.
Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing.
Right, so we were downtown teaching, and what? They had what? A pork fest. So a lot of our people were indulging, okay, in unclean animals. Read that again.
Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing.
Come on.
These are the beasts which ye shall eat, the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck, the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the pygarg, and the wild ox, and the chamois, and every beast that parteth the hoof, and cleaveth the cleft into two claws, and cheweth the cud among the beasts ye shall eat.
So those that chew the cud and cloven footed, okay, the Most High said, above of these beasts shall we eat. So the Most High is very clear, very distinct on what he wants, what is clean and what is unclean. Come on.
Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof.
So what does it mean to chew the cud? When you see a cow and what? When it eats something and it regurgitates, okay, it swallows, then it throws it back up and swallows again. So that's what it means when an animal chews the cud. Okay, read that again.
Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof, as the camel and the hare and the coonie, for they chew the cud, but divided not the hoof.
Right, so it has to have those two things, okay? You can't have one and don't do the other. Most High said it has to do both. Come on.
Therefore they are unclean unto you.
They are what?
Unclean unto you.
So the Most High said these beasts, they're what? They're unclean unto us. Come on.
And the swine,
and
the swine,
and the what?
and the swine,
and the swine, American they call it what? The other white meat. Okay, come on.
Because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud.
So the swine is what? That's pork, read.
It is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass.
So we're not supposed to eat, not even, where a lot of these, you go to these stores, you think you're getting a good deal on some leather, but you're really purchasing is probably made out of pork. Okay? So you gotta be careful. The Most High said we not to eat it, not even touch it. Come on.
These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales ye shall eat.
They have what?
Fins and scales ye shall eat.
Come on.
And whatsoever have not fins and scales ye may not eat. It is unclean unto you.
So the Most High said the fish has to have what? It has to have fins and scales. Okay, you might have some fish that have what? They have fins but no scales. Okay, so the Most High again is being very particular, very distinct on what we can eat. Okay, the beasts upon the earth and the fish that are in the sea. Read.
Of all clean birds ye shall eat, but these are they which ye shall not eat: the eagle, and the ostrich, and the osprey, and the gled, and the kite, and the vulture after his kind.
So these are all different types of birds, read.
And every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind.
Right, you ever see that show that you got these Edomites that go on all these strange countries, eating all type of abominations, put some hot sauce on it. Oh, this is good, this is a delicacy. Okay, so stuff like that, the Most High told that as a nation, as a peculiar people, as a holy people, we're not to eat these type of things. Come on.
The little owl, the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the geared eagle, and the cormorant, and the stork, and the heron after his kind, and the lapwing, and the bat, and every creeping thing that flieth is unclean unto you, they shall not be eaten. But of all clean fowls ye may eat. Ye shall not eat anything that dieth of itself. Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates.
Say what?
Give it to the stranger that is in thy gates.
So now we see that Esau knows the scriptures, because what happens here? When they have their products, they have their foods that are barcoded, okay? They are purposely sending all the bad food to our communities, all the stuff that's spoiled. But in their communities, they have the whole food. They have all the natural, all the good things. But we are what? We're dying. Because they did a study, our people, like when you go so-called Africa, with a lot of, some of our people still there, we didn't know anything about diabetes and high blood pressure and all these illnesses. Coming here into America, they are killing us, okay, on a daily basis with the food, with this obesity, with down these fast food restaurants our people are eating. Okay, come on.
Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates.
So what they do, they took the scriptures, okay. At one time, we would give the food to the other nations. But what are they doing? They're eating the good food, and what? They're giving us all the filth. Okay, come on.
That he may eat it, or thou mayest sell it unto an alien. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power.
Right, so aliens were non-Israelite, all the other nations, most I consider them as an alien. Come on.
Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk.
So this verse right here, this is what Amalek uses to say how they have they separate their dairy from the cheese or with the meat, whatever like that. But that's just meaning what they call the veal, okay? Because it's why it's still sucking on his mother's breast. Okay, come on.
Thou shalt surely tithe all the increase of thy seed that the field bringeth forth year by year. And thou shalt eat before Yahweh thy power in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thy oil, and of thy firstlings of thy herds, and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear Yahweh always.
So this is how we made sure that the Most High blessed us continually, yearly, that we bought the firstlings of our flocks, of our fields, okay, before the priest, that the priest would do the blessing and make sure that that everything will be plentiful through the year. Come on.
And if thy way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which Yahweh thy power shall choose to set his name there, when Yahweh hath blessed thee, then shalt thou turn it into money, and bind up the money in thine hand, and shall go into the place which Yahweh thy power shall choose.
So now, if you're not able to transport, anything that you have, okay, so you didn't get away. The Most High said what? He said he'd sell it, keep the money, and then you still bring it before the priest. Okay, come on.
And thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatsoever thy soul desireth, and thou shalt eat there before Yahweh thy power, and thou shalt rejoice thou and thine household.
Right, so we're not supposed to sell the money and then we keep it for our own good. Next thing you know, you come to service riding on 30s. Okay, you got new jewelry and looking fine, and you're not reverencing the house of the Most High. So when we travel these different gates, okay, the people should be reverencing their gates, making sure the sanctuary is not lacking anything. Okay, that it's always having all the resources that it needs for day-to-day activities. Come on.
And the Levite that is within thy gates, thou shalt not forsake him.
Right, this is my favorite verse right here. Read that again.
And the Levite that is within thy gates, thou shalt not forsake him.
Right, we're not supposed to forsake the Levites, the priests. Okay, that's my favorite one, bro. Read it one more time.
And the Levite that is within thy gates, thou shalt not forsake him.
Come on.
For he hath no part, no inheritance with thee.
Right, so that's why we reverence the priests, because we don't have inheritance. Okay, the Most High, we were ordained from the womb to make sure that we go amongst the nation to depart His laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay, a lot of you reached out to me for the letters for the Shabbat. I don't ask you what camp you're from, what city you're from. If a brother tells me, a sister tells me, well, I want to get off on the Sabbath, I get the letter out to you. So we have the letters, Mashra Yashua. If you need the letters to be exempt to work on the Sabbath, we can accommodate you. The letters for shaving your beard, the letters for immunization, also the letters for the women that are forced to wear pants. We also have exempt letters for those as well. Okay, so those are some of the jobs of the priest to make sure the nation is applying His laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of 3 years thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thine increase the same year, and shalt lay it up within thy gates. And the Levite, because he have no part nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger and the fatherless and the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that Yahweh thy power may bless thee in all the work of thine hand which thou doest.
Right, so we're supposed to make sure that the priests are taken care of, the widows, the fatherless, so we have to bring this into the storehouse. Okay? Making sure that there's always there for those that are lacking, that are needing. And when the Most High blesses you, okay, and in turn that you will bless your fellow brother or sister, and in the Most High in turn He will increase your household. Okay? Thus saith the Most High, thus saith the Bible. All right, so that ends my portion. All praise and peace to God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, first and foremost, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, it's an honor to be here in Detroit. We're going to go into my portion here in the book of Psalms. So go ahead and start there at the top.
The book of Psalms, chapter 2 and verse 1. Why do the heathen rage?
That's a tremendous question. You turn on the news, you look around what's going on in the world right now. The heathen are raging, right? The Bible's going to elaborate. Read.
And the people imagine a vain thing.
That's the question. They imagine a vain thing. Why? What is the vain thing that the heathen imagine? They imagine that their rulership and their dominion in this earth is going to be something that's perpetual and continuing. That's why you have all these various world powers trying to come against the Western power. Everybody know America has been the principal people, the principal nation in this earth for some time, right? They have allies, what's known as the West and Western Europe, the Beast, NATO, the EU and such, right? But now you have other power structures that are trying to establish themselves and erect themselves in the earth. Namely, you got Russia and their allies, Brazil, India, China, Pakistan, Iran, North Korea. They're all trying to flex their muscle and become a power and rule and get dominion in the earth. That's the vain thing that the Most High is talking about. They imagine here, right? You know?
The kings of the earth set themselves.
They say they do what?
The kings of the earth set themselves.
That's what they're doing. With Vladimir Putin again, China, all of these people. They're setting them, they think they're going to set themselves up and they're going to be the next people to rule after America. They truthfully believe that in their hands and in their minds. See, everybody around the world realizes that America is on its last leg, is deteriorating, and it's going to fall. So people are trying to put themselves in position to be the next nation that's going to have preeminence in the earth. All of that's vain. Read on.
And the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointing.
That's right. They take counsel together. Right? Because overall, they're trying to rule over the rightful heirs of this world, man, under the Most High in Christ. That's who we are. Right? So read.
Saying, let us break their bands asunder.
Go ahead.
And cast away their cords from us.
Read on.
He that sits in the heavens shall laugh.
See, the Most High is going to laugh. Because all of the nations have a plan in their minds that we ain't going to rule over. All the nations. But the Most High said he going to laugh. Read.
Yahweh shall have them in derision.
What?
In derision.
What's coming? All these people think they're going to rule the earth. They got all these weapons. They doing all these war games, getting ready to start killing people. The Most High said he's going to have them in derision. That's what it talks about in the Valley of Armageddon, right? When they literally going to have to fight Yahweh and the angel. Imagine that. They're going to prevail. They believe it. What did Trump say? We got to get a space force. What is the Space Force for? You think he thinks a Martian is coming? What's that movie back in the 90s? The Martian Invasion? You think he's getting ready for a Martian invasion? No, Yahweh Shai, Michael. That's who he's preparing for. And he actually thinks in his silly red head that he's going to be able to stand a chance against the hosts of heaven. That's why it says at the top, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? It is utter vanity to think that you are going to get in a stealth bomber and defeat a chariot of God. That's just senseless, man. Right? But Esau, he really believes that. In his heart of hearts. That's why the Bible refers to him as the most proud, right? Hold on, give me a precept real quick. Jeremiah 50 and, what is that, 32?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 30, I'm picking up at 31. Behold, I am against you, O most proud.
There we go. I am against you, O most proud. The Most High Yahweh is against this most proud people. These people that think that these fighter jets that they created are going to be able to fight against chariots, man. Fight against Yahweh Shai and archangels, Michael. You know what one archangel can do? David saw it. David saw archangels slew tens of thousands of Israelites by himself. but your stealth bomber is going to be very effective in that day. That's madness, man. Read.
Saith Yahweh, the power of hosts.
He's against you. Read.
For your day is come.
Ooh, there's a set judgment for this power structure that we live in. That's been oppressive, that's raped, robbed, murdered, and enslaved us. There is a set time. The Most High got them on a schedule. And when it comes time for them to fall, they're going to fall, and it's going to be without remedy. Right? Read on. For your day is come, the time that I will visit you. You're going to get visited. How you going to get visited? With absolute wrath. That's right. All right, read on. And the most proud shall stumble. Ooh, go ahead. And fall. The most proud, especially this Edomite man in America who's ruling this country, he shall stumble and fall, thus saith the Most High. Finish that. And none shall raise him up. And no one's going to be able to do anything about it. Repair you, you're not going to rise back up, any of that. You're going to fall, and you're going to go right back to where you belong at the bottom of the world. Thus saith the Most High God. Go ahead. And I will kindle a fire in his cities. Go ahead. And it shall devour all round about him. That's right. It's going to be, this whole country is going to be a raging inferno. Right? Read. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Yasha'Allah and the children of Yahweh were oppressed together. See, that lets you know what this is in reference to. Because since we split into two kingdoms, you can't see us getting collectively oppressed together. Right? Judah's getting oppressed over here, Israel's getting oppressed over here. But now we're in the time here in the Americas where you see in all 12 tribes go through a collective oppression by a specific people. And that people is referred to as the most proud. We go back to Psalm 4. Right? Go ahead. The book of Psalms, chapter 2 and verse 5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath. In his what? In his wrath. Yahweh speaks to people in his wrath. And we know that better than anybody. Right? Because we've gone under these curses. So people think God is going to come down. Hey, I gotta holler at you, man. Step to the side. That's why he said, I will not meet thee as a man. Yeah. See, when a man want to talk to another man, you say, what's up, brother? Let me holler at you, right? The Most High said he ain't meet nobody as a man. He speaks in wrath. Right? He spoke to us by making us lose our identity, our nationality, get put on a slave ship, get brought to plantations, whipped, hung, all of this, right? That's how he spoke to us to keep his commandments. How do you think he's going to speak to people he doesn't like? Right? If he spoke to the people he loved like this, what is he going to do to people that he clearly expresses disdain for, since he has a perpetual indignation? That's a special kind of hatred he got and resentment he has towards these people. So imagine the type of devastation he's going to speak to them with. Right? Go ahead. And vex them in his sore displeasure. He's going to vex them, man. Right? Just like you vex now, living check to check, trying to pay your bills, dealing with all this madness, he's going to vex them. Right? And a whole lot more than being late on a light bill. All right? Go ahead. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. There we go. And that's a reference to Yahweh. It's what these biblical scholars call a Christophany. It's talking about Yahweh, man. All right, read. I will declare the decree. Yahweh has said to me, you are my son, this day have I begotten you. Ooh, this day have I begotten you, right? My only begotten son, right? Read on. Ask of me, and I shall give you the heathen for your inheritance. People, it's so crazy. You live in the Christian church your whole life, and you never heard that Christ, Yahweh, said he gonna have the heathen as his inheritance. He gonna ask the Father to give him every people on the earth as his possession, as an inheritance. That's his present, his prize in the Most High. You get to inherit all these people, and then we, if we are the elected, to be what? Joint heirs with the Mashiach Yahweh. This is what we're aiming to, like the brother was going into earlier, this eternal kingdom. That eternal kingdom involves what? Having slaves, man. The same way you built this kingdom and all the kingdoms on earth, we built them and made them so magnificent. Look at the White House and all the wonders of the world, right? Well, guess what? Somebody's going to build your kingdom while you sit back and lounge, man, and enjoy it, right? That's all here in the Bible. That's what who the world calls Christ, Yahweh is coming to bring. What they never taught us on the pulpit, right? When we open the book and read, we clearly see it says, ask of me and I shall give you the heathen. All of these people as your inheritance. Read on.
and the uttermost parts of the earth for your possession.
This whole earth is our turf, as they say. This earth is our possession, right? So we have a capital in Jerusalem, and I've chosen land from the Nile to the Euphrates, but we also have right to this entire earth. Why do you think the Northern Kingdom came over here and took this whole thing over? Because they had a right to it, man. Right? Go ahead.
You shall break them with a rod of iron.
So not only are they're not going to just come nicely. You think this white man just going to come and just volunteer to get this slavery? Who just volunteers for slavery? Right? I mean, I know it seems like our people might do it now, but it took a lot of breaking to get us to be like this. We don't just volunteer. Nobody just volunteers for this. They're going to have to get bust upside their head until they kind of get the point. Then they're going to get in line now. Then they're going to be happy to keep our laws all of a sudden. They're going to act like it was their idea the whole time. Yeah, man, this is real beneficial. Yeah, we've been trying to tell you this, man. Right? But go ahead.
You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
Don't sound like hugs and love. Love. Where's the love there? And breaking people like a vessel, man. Ain't no love in that. Right? Go ahead.
Be wise now, therefore, O you kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve Yahweh with fear and rejoice with trembling.
And that's what we're learning in this captivity. Everybody in this room is a part of a very elite group of Hebrew Israelites that were able to learn and accept the fear of the Most High God. We say hallelujah. We got you. Because we're a part of a lucky group that was able to not only hear it, and we received it, and now we're actively trying to live it. But guess what? If we continue in it, we're going to make all the kingdoms of the earth to understand the fear of Yahweh. We're going to make them. It don't matter if they don't want to understand. They're going to be the same way you were forced to worship C.W.O.R.D.S. That same way, they're going to be forced to learn the fear of Yahweh. And Lord willing, we're going to be a part of them brothers that's going to force it on them. I'm ready to force my customs on somebody.
That's right.
Everybody else's custom been forced upon us. When is our turn going to come? It's coming soon, man. We got next, as we say, right? So go ahead.
Kiss the Son.
We say what?
Kiss the Son.
This is important. It said kiss the Son. That means reverence Yahushua, man. That's why we always reverence Hamashiach Yahushua. You have to. Because he's the key to this whole thing. Because the Most High said, man, to hell with these things, man. To help him, right?
Wow.
But he sent his Son to bring that redemption for him, right? It said to free us from the curse of the law. What's the curse of the law? Deuteronomy 28. That's the curse of the law. He's freeing us from that, right? Upon his return. So we have to reverence Hamashiach Yahushua, our King, our Savior, our Mediator, right? Read on.
Lest he be angry.
Lest what?
Lest he be angry.
Not reverencing Hamashiach Yahushua angers the Father, man. It makes him mad. Because you really think you're going to get it on your own. You get it through the Son. You got to have somebody to come and vouch for you. Try to get in the club like, man, you got to know somebody in there, man. We don't know you. Who you know in there? Oh, you make house, all right, we let you in. You see what I'm saying? That's why we have to reverence the Son, kiss the Son, lest he be angry. Angry, right? Read on.
And you perish from the way.
That's right. That's what's going to happen. Those that deny Yahushua, they're going to perish from the way. Right? Because, like it says, he said, I'm going to make mention to you who make mention of me here, to my Father. If you didn't make mention of Yahushua, that man ain't there to vouch for you, then Yahushua. To hell with them. Right? Matter of fact, finish that, let me get Luke 19:27. I'll end on that.
When his wrath is kindled but a little, blessed are all they that put their trust in him.
That's right. Yeah, let's hit that Luke 19:27, and then I'll wrap on that. This is very important. And that's why it's beautiful that, the participants in these summits, we all are in Hamashiach Yahushua. It's very important, man. Right? So go ahead.
The book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27.
It's red letter now, read.
But those my enemies.
Yahushua said his enemies, read.
Which would not that I should reign over them.
That don't want him to be king. That deny that he is heir to the throne of David, his forefather. Read.
Bring here and slay them before me.
He said they gotta go. Bring them in before me and slay them. That's what's going to happen to those who deny Hamashiach Yahushua. That's why it's important that we put on Yahushua. All right, with that we say hallelujah again. Shabbat shalom.
All praises to Yahweh Yahushua. like the brother said, it's an honor to be here in Detroit for the 11th Summit. You know, I can actually remember when we first started the first of the brother S.W.O.R.D.S did a really excellent job here myself. But our portion is Isaiah, the 11th chapter, Isaiah 11:1-12. That's correct, Rob? 11:12? All right, correct. Like the brother's been saying all day, the law is very important. That's something that you can't get around. The churches, they teach you to disobey the law. Anything that's not of the Most High or not of the law, the churches, they make it easy for you. You can go to church, you can be a sodomite, you can go to church, you can smoke a cigarette, go outside, smoke it. You can smoke marijuana, weed, all day long. You know, you can get a whole bunch of things in church. They make it easy for you. That's the reason why a bunch of our people is in these churches. Just because the Most High made churches, a lot of people in there. Like TVJT has a mega church, millions of people. That's what our people flock to. The Most High said that our people flock to evil. Their feet run to evil. TVJ's got over maybe about 5 million members down in this church down in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, and just because you got a lot of people, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. When you read the Bible all through the book of Genesis to the book of Revelation, the Most High only dealt with a small group of people, a small group of a remnant of people. A remnant is what? It's a part of a whole. If you go to a carpet store and you say, okay, well, I want a remnant of carpet, they take slabs and they sell you remnants off of a whole of a carpet. You don't read in the scriptures what the Most High say everybody's going to be saved. He deals with a small remnant of people, okay? He deals with the least all the time. To make Pharaoh, to make America, to make them see his power. That's how the Most High works all the time. Go read the book of Isaiah, the 11th chapter so far. Read the first verse.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
Yeah, Con, when you go read the Bible, especially from the book of Genesis, the Most High compares people to trees, branches, rods. In this particular chapter right here, he's comparing the root and the branches. When you go look at a tree, the branches that are on the tree are all the same tree. Okay, they're not scattered and they're not separated. Okay, this is talking about the Lord. Also, this is talking about Yahushua as well, too. Okay, so Jesse was what? The father of David. Okay, so what he's saying is that the law, okay, is going to come out of, okay, it's going to stay with the nation of Israel. When you read the book of Matthew, the first chapter, it says that Yahushua was of the seed of David. It tells you that, right? The scriptures. Okay, read that part one more time, Shofar.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse.
Meaning the Lord, okay, because our people are way out of order. Way out of order. Whatever happened to the black families that used to sit at the table and eat dinner together? You can't eat until your father come home. Whatever happened to that? So I know they used to have me in the projects in Brooklyn. My dad used to work overtime. We would starve, brother. Okay? Lights come on. That's right. The lights come on. You better be in the house. My father's plate would be set. Whatever happened to that? Now you got all of a sudden, now you got one kid upstairs playing Xbox. You got another one not doing homework. You got another one over here looking at reruns of Atlanta Housewives. You're supposed to all sit at the table, okay? You're supposed to pray together. Whatever happened to that? Yeah, texting on the phone, friends in school, that they not coming to school tomorrow. Right, exactly, right. While I'm sitting at the dinner table, they texting. Okay, food getting cold. These are all distractions that the so-called white man put out there for you. For what? To further your mind away from the Most High. Distractions. You can't name me one good, positive thing that the white man stands for, or that he puts on the internet, or that he puts online. You know what the white man has done when he puts out the distractions? He's literally unplugged you from your power. That's what he's done. So the more Israelites come together, okay, and knowing who you are, okay, the plug gets back into the wall. And what happens when the plug gets back into the wall? You start getting what? Power. This phone doesn't work. It's cheap. It's an i3.5. But this phone is cheap, but it still works. All right? So so if I was to plug this phone into the wall, Karatazan, it'll start getting power again, right? So what the white man has done, he's unplugged you from your power, because in the past, I got this book where you have the Arabs that used to say they used to attack Israel at certain times of the year, at certain times of the month. And the reason why they used to do that is because they said when they used to go down to attack us, they used to see angels, okay, guarding the cities, okay, where we was at. They used to see angels.
We had that power once. We don't have that no more. And the nations know it. The more crazy and the more stupid they make you, that's the more Satan sits back and laughs. That's the more he sits back and laughs. We need laws. That's the only thing that's going to keep us, okay, straight in these last days. The Most High said, wisdom and knowledge shall be what? Stability in the times. I'm fortunate. All these brothers, we're fortunate to be in here today, even listening to this. Like the brother said, to be part of this. I wake up every morning and ask the Most High and say, the water, I'm up and I'm in my right mind. Because the things that you see on the news today is going to really tear you to pieces, man. As far as crazy, man. They got talking rats in New York City and running around for people. Yeah, rats, breakdancing and everything, man. I haven't seen nothing like that in my life, Marshall. Rats are going crazy up there in New York, man. What they eating up there, man? Okay, yeah, Shofar. And a branch shall grow out of his roots, and the spirit of Yahweh shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahweh.
You have to have fear of the Most High. Most High said having fear for him is what? The beginning of knowledge. If you don't have fear of the Most High, if you don't fear the Most High, you just roll, you do anything. I'm scared of a person that, I'm literally scared of someone that don't have fear of the Most High. Because you like to do anything, kill you, kill yourself, jump off the bridge, eat pork. I don't care how much Old Bay, okay, you manage to put on a shrimp. It's still poison. Make it look good, make it taste good. You put barbecue sauce and make it a pig feet taste good. It don't matter. The Most High says it's unclean, like the priest Gahan said. All right. So the Most High said that counsel is important as well too. All right. You have to do everything. The Most High said do everything in counsel before you do something, or you want to make a rash decision. You don't want to go left and you don't know whether to go right. Counsel from someone. Sure.
That stem that you're reading about in Isaiah 11, that's talking about the Mashiach Yahushua. That's the stem of Jesse. That's the Mashiach Yahushua. You're going to recognize that everything is going to come through the Mashiach. Everything.
Absolutely. So you need counseling. If you want to go left, you want to go right, you need counseling. Don't get counseling from somebody that's going to agree with the wickedness. It's easy to call up somebody that's doing something wrong and they agree. You agree. That's the person that you call when you want to make a bad decision. Okay, but when you want to make a right decision, you won't call the brother Bathala, okay, because you know that he's going to put you in your place of the brother Shofar. Those are the brothers you don't want to call. But you will call that person that's going to give you that negative advice, because that's the judgment, and they co-sign on your evil that you want to do. Counseling, righteous counseling is very important. And that's what's missing amongst our people here. Go ahead, brother Shofar.
Verse 3, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yahweh, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears.
That's right, the sight of your eyes. Okay, you got to judge everything by the law, statute, commandments of this Bible right here. Okay, the so-called white man will have you swearing on the Bible, but he'll throw it out. Nothing that the so-called white man does, okay, as far as putting you before court and he judges you out of this Bible right here. I was in court the other day for a ticket, all right, I was doing over the speed limit. Okay, so the judge brought it down to 55, but they don't judge you according to this Bible right here. All right? You try to do something that happens in society to one of your brothers and your sisters and see what happens. And you show the so-called judge or the white man a law in this Bible that says that, I was defending myself. Okay, man broke into my home. Don't you know there's laws in the Bible, okay, against everything that happens in your everyday life that you're supposed to do and that you're supposed to partake in? Everything is in this book right here. Like the man tells you from the ruler to the tutor, everything is in this book right here. There's nothing that you cannot do or you cannot judge your family or counsel your family that's not in this book right here. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Go ahead, brother.
But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth.
Meek of the earth, that's talking about us. Nobody poor than us. We live in a society where we're ruled up under another government, okay, the so-called white man's government, okay, as far as the punishments, like the brother read earlier. I don't care how much money you got, LeBron James just signed a contract with the Lakers, $2 million. You got Negroes who care about that more than they care about the Ten Commandments. How much money LeBron James got? What's the second commandment? I bet you can tell you first how much money he's gonna make a year so far. Okay, what's commandments 1 through 5? I don't know. That goes to show you right there how the so-called white man distracts your mind, okay, from coming back to the Heavenly Father. The more distraction that he can cause, that's the less chance you have of coming back to him. And Satan getting more power. Go ahead, brother.
But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And his righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins.
You got to gird yourself with this righteousness every day. From the time you walk, from the time you get up, from the time you leave your house. Send up a prayer. Face the east. Send up a prayer. Okay, quick. When you're at work, in a car traffic, come from work. Send up a prayer. That keeps the evil spirits away from you. You got to gird your loins with this. Like I said earlier, in church, they make it too easy for our people. You can go outside, smoke a cigarette, smoke weed, do whatever you want. I seen a video the other day. People was in church breakdancing, pop locking. One sister was doing the snake and everything else. The pastor was up there rapping. I've never seen nothing like that. I had a beat too, like I think it was a Dougie Fresh beat. And the pastor was on the mic doing the bit with his lips. Had the congregation out there dancing. One guy right on his back while breakdancing on the floor. Yeah, in church. In church. Our people don't want to hear right things. What do they want to hear? Smooth things, right? That's what they want to hear. And what makes it more fascinating, what I don't understand about was that what makes it more compelling is that the people that's in there listening to these pastors. That makes it more compelling. How did he get a congregation full of people like that? Like break dance, smoke cigarettes, smoke weed, and they got an ATM machine in the back. Right, eat pork, shrimp, right, and justify all wicked things. Our people love evil, man. Love evil. But to come back and do these laws, statutes, and commandments, okay, and deny your grandmother Thanksgiving, she wants you over there, all tradition, early Hebrew. That's what stumps our people right there, tradition. Here it is, you're 30, you're 40 years old, all of a sudden you come into the scriptures and it tells you you're not supposed to celebrate Thanksgiving. All of a sudden now you don't want to offend grandma. I'm not doing that. Everybody gonna laugh at me. Grandma, I ain't doing that. Everybody, all the family members gonna laugh at me. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. What's wrong with you, boy? I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. That's the fear of our people right there. You're scared of what other people gonna think of you. Most I said, bless ye, okay, that sacrifice for the name of Yahweh. I don't care what my people think of me, okay? What they got to say, okay? Separate yourselves from them. Don't go to events. I don't care, right? Either you're gonna love me or you're gonna hate me. That's the mind state that Yahweh had to get.
And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them.
Okay.
And the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox.
Right, even the animals, they're not at peace right now. It tells you in the book Isaiah, the 14th chapter, the whole earth is going to be at rest when we get into our kingdom. When this so-called white man gets taken down, nobody's happy. The trees aren't happy. Works this earth and working, chopping down trees, taking down certain trees that are not supposed to be chopped down, working up, digging down in the natural oil that's supposed to lubricate the earth. You know, the vibes, he's down there digging down, got wells down there digging. This man, he's not only raping the people, he's raping the earth too with his natural ingredients, raping the minds of the people too. Even the animals gonna be happy. We told the white man to lock up a saber-tooth tiger or a bison buffalo. And then talking about the animals that extinct. This man is crazy. Here it is, you go around and shoot every bird you can see. And then next year, they talk about they want an Earth Day and everything's extinct all of a sudden because you're shooting them. It's not, the water's poisoned and polluted. The water's no good to drink because you're taking all the natural, the shrimp and the lobsters that's supposed to clean it. I don't, this man is crazy. The simple solution is for you to stop being evil. That's it right there. Our black people, they don't want to put the finger where the brain's supposed to be. So one man's together. All right? Everything that the scriptures say that fit this man, everything that the scriptures say that fit this man, we can't make this up. All right? He has evil on his side. It's like I told this one lady, I said the side of history that we have, we can't deny slavery. We don't deny that, Rock. As far as slavery, our foreparents in slavery. I don't deny that. Yeah, our forefathers got hung, lynched, white man peed in their mouth, gave them feces when they was hungry at nighttime. I don't deny that. They got hung, sodomized, all that. Okay, but why the white man wasn't going to deny his history all the time? Say, man, you the devil, man. Okay, if you could break down the litany of things in the Bible, okay, what this man has done. That ain't me. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That wasn't me. I wasn't back there. But the same, not right, at the same time, exactly right. This Bible fits this man and it fits the curses. It fits this man to a T. Even the curses in the Bible, we can't get around that. We cannot get around these curses in the Bible. Go ahead, Shofar.
And the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den.
Everything's going back into order. The animals, man, so-called white man, and the earth. Go ahead, brother.
They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy hill.
Yeah. That's gonna that's gonna make a bunch of people real bad when they can't destroy no more. That's what the so-called white man's spirit is. He likes to destroy. That's his spirit. Man, he can't help it. All right, like Michael Jackson said, I can't help myself if I wanted to. The white man, he just can't help himself from being wicked, man. He can't do right. Even the ones that you think that love you at work. Oh, Betsy and Buffy and them, the ones that want to invite you out to dinner, you better not go. Yeah, well, let's go to the bar. Let's go to Red Robin after work. You want to join us? It's Taco Tuesday. It's Monday Marina night. You go if you want to. You better get out. That's right. You go if you want to and follow Betsy and Biffy. That's right. It's going to be a black barbecue. That's what it's going to be. Okay? That's exactly what it's going to be. And now all of a sudden, now you're hanging out with Europeans. People watching, like I tell my son all the time, don't do it. Don't do it. Not that he does do it. So let's teach your kids, don't mingle with these people. All right? The next thing you know, you want to hold a press conference, okay, because your son got bopped upside the head and he got dragged by a Ford 150 truck. All of a sudden now you want to hold a press conference. Keep them away from you. Segregation was the best thing for us. That was the best thing for us. That's another topic. Go ahead, brother.
For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea.
That's what's missing right there, the knowledge of the Most High. We ain't living up under righteous laws. We living up under Satan's laws right now. All right? Like I said, take them iPads away from your kids, okay, for a moment. Okay? What you got to do is put them in the trunk of your car. Okay, because that's the vibration of Satan coming right through these phones. If you're an adult and you can balance certain things, that's okay. Okay, but Satan's coming right through these phones, right into your kids' brains, man. Right into your kids' brains, okay? And I've seen 3-year-old kids, okay, on phones. I'll take them away, they crying. It's 3-year-old kids, man. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
That's right. Paul spoke, that's right, that's Yahweh. Okay, in the end, all right? The Gentiles also, just like Paul spoke about the Gentiles, meaning Israel, all right? And the so-called white man, okay, he gonna also want to seek righteousness in the last days as well, too. All right, go ahead, brother.
And it shall come to pass at that day that Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time.
That's talking about the end of time, all right? The end of time, during the time of Noah, that was the first time. The Most High said he's going to set his hand a second time, meaning one more time, meaning the second coming of Yahushua. Go ahead.
To recover the remnant of his people.
Recover the remnant. There go that word, remnant. Everybody not going to make it out of here. T.D. Jakes will tell you everything. T.D. Jakes is a black Jim Jones. That's all it is. Only thing he need to do is just get Negroes together and say, let's get, I got land over in Guyana, okay, and give you black people some poison Gatorade. That's all they got to do. Okay, Jim Jones did that. How many Negroes black people died, Rock? 900. Right. That's all TV. Right, absolutely right. And poison as well, too, is what they're teaching. In the schools, through the TV, Christianity, through the media. All right? That's the poison. Okay, right there. All right, go ahead, brother.
Which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
Israel scattered all over the place. We're not just in one place throughout the earth like some roaches in one place. Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We're all over the place. okay? All over the place. You may go somewhere in Rome, it may say Israelite now. Word is spread, okay? We're all over the place, but that's my time. I'm not gonna be long, that's it. The next brother that's coming is Mathafula. I'm watering your hour for your time. Thank you.
Truth is our dogma. We believe it to be man's greatest weapon against the devil.